What's up, guys? Welcome back to another day in the life of a postal lady. So, the other night, I got off work, went home, got dressed and changed, and decided that I was going to get back out and take care of some things that I needed to take care of. But, y'all, this is so funny. I don't know if you guys experience anything like this, but people usually do not recognize me whenever I have on non-work clothes. They just really don't. I mean, I'm very happy for that. I don't think that's a bad thing, because you have people that come to you asking you questions all the time about mail and just your job and just everything whenever you're in this uniform. I mean, and I cannot lie to you, they expect you to smile at them for the fact that you're in this uniform. I mean, I automatically smile at people in general, but they expect for you to act a certain way, be a certain way while you're in that uniform. So I like to go ahead and get out of mine so that way I can kind of separate myself from the job. But let me tell y'all, this is so hilarious, okay? Just so happened that on the other night, I decided to get out and I had my regular clothes on. I went into a store that I usually go into while I'm on my route to use the restroom, because my route doesn't really have any bathroom spots. So I have to go to a different store for that. And I went to this store that I usually go to for my restroom breaks. Well, one of the guys ended up recognizing me. And let me tell y'all, it was that moment of, do you know who I am? Because if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you. So we were standing at the register and he was like, "How you doing?" And I was like, "I'm doing good." But some people are just overly excited. I am. So I just took it as that moment to think, oh, he was just overly excited. So he's going on about how, the place is going, and we're talking about the place getting ready to get shut, the store getting ready to get shut down. And, we're just going on about it. And then out of nowhere, he breaks into, I got this piece of mail that just keeps on coming back and back and back to my mailbox. Every time I turn around, I keep writing this on here and it just keeps on coming back. What do you suggest that I do? And in my head, I'm like, well, there is no faking it this time. He understands and he sees exactly who I am right now. So you might as well just go ahead and get into it and just get into it. So I'm like, well, you could just easily let your mail lady or your mail man know that they keep on delivering the same piece of mail and it's not yours, And, well, I did that. And then I had to go and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Guys, when y'all see your mail person outside of this place after hours, don't ask them nothing about mail, because they are off work. They are not at work. They do their job for whatever time they do it from, and they are not trying to talk about the mail outside of this job. I know I'm personally not. When I leave here, I leave here, okay? I literally do not try to take this stuff home with me. Now, of course, I have conversations with you guys about things that's going on, but most times out of 10, I try to leave this place where it's at. I don't want to talk about the responsibilities of the job per se, such as like, oh, somebody misdelivered your mail. There's nothing I can do about that. You have to call the post office and talk to the supervisor, and the supervisor will tell you what you need to do next. And of course, I explained that to him, but just saying. And this is why I go ahead and get changed at home before I go out and do anything, because I really just think that that's crazy that, when you get off work, you are off work. If you're the water person and the neighborhood's water had an issue, are you going to get out of your bed and come and fix it while you off work? I don't think you're going to, because you're not getting paid for that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's so funny, because for so long, I have been able to, for literally 3 whole years, I barely have had any customers to recognize who I am outside of like delivering the mail. You know what I mean? That's crazy, right? But, yeah, I try to keep that separate so that way that, I can still live a normal life. I would tell you that is one thing that a lot of new carriers need to know. You want to separate your life. You don't want it to just be the same, because when you're waking up doing mail, going to sleep doing mail. Because let me tell you something, you go to sleep to do the mail as well. I know I had a conversation with one of the new carriers. I said, let me tell you, you're going to get it. I said, and I'm going to tell you how you really going to know that you got it is when you are sitting there dreaming about delivering the mail and making sure that you are putting this mail in the right mailbox. Or I said, when those nightmares start kind of going down, that's when you got it. That's when you got it. When you get them nightmares and then they just start fading away, that's when you know you have actually learned how to be a letter carrier and you are doing this thing and you can do this thing. Okay, the nightmares eventually do end in some ways, not all. But yeah, like, be sure to kind of keep that separate, so that way that you can kind of draw a line between your customers asking you things while you're off work. Because when you are off work, you are off work. You don't want to talk about what's going on with the mail and why this person's mail didn't get delivered. And most times out of 10, it's a customer that's not even from your route. Like, my customers I don't have any problems out of my customers. It's customers that are not even from my route coming to me, asking me 1,000 and some questions about something that I have no idea. All I can tell you to do is call a supervisor. But I'm not in work clothes, so... And maybe he just wanted somebody to talk to, and he just felt like, oh, well, I feel like this is how I need to start this conversation with her, just to kind of break ice. But no, just say hello and, like, let's talk about something else other than just the mail, because that is not what we are all, good for. We're not all just good for the mail, okay? But yeah, I just wanted to share that quick little funny story with y'all. I thought that was hilarious. I know there's some carriers out there that can relate, okay? And I know there's some people out there in some regular jobs that can relate to getting off work and people still feeling like you are still at work because they're used to seeing you in that duty, right? And you got to learn how to separate yourself. That means if you can go home and get changed and get out them work clothes, go home, get changed and get out them work clothes and separate yourself from that. So that way you can give yourself some kind of peace of mind, all right? Thank y'all for listening to me, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.